All right, everybody, thank you for jumping on with us for our Tri-State Trends. I got my man Omar Mitchell, the stud, bro. SVP of FFL Midwest,
Yes, sir.
coming off his best month ever, helping 390 families.
Yes, man.
Bro, how's it feel?
It feels good, man. It feels good. I know when you feel the momentum, man, it gets the hairs on your neck standing up a little bit, man. You feel that you're moving in the right direction, man. It's. I feel blessed, but I'm not satisfied. We're gonna keep on pushing.
Amen to that. And I see the joy. I mean, like, I know how much work you put in. I know you know how hard it is to get momentum. You know, you have
it. You feel it when you lose
it. But you have it right now. Came back first week of April, 93 families. So you're tracking very close to doing what you did in a 5-week month, now in a 4-week month.
Yes.
So let's talk about momentum. Yep. Let's talk about what it takes to get momentum and how to not, or how to fight off frustration. I was about to say how to not get frustrated, but guess what? I know that did not happen. So how to fight off frustration, knowing that there's going to be a time that's coming where all this work is going to kind of show its fruit.
So, I mean, Mark, momentum is everything. I think when you look at this business and the ebbs and flows and the peaks and valleys, if you can keep yourself a little even keeled, I'm excited, but I know that it's just the tip of the iceberg. The key is focusing that momentum as always improving, always getting better, becoming a better person, husband, leader, mentor, everything. So the focus, even the negatives of this business sometimes can give you that extra kindling for the fire, man, and you use it. Just try to use everything within your purview, within your skill set to keep on pushing, because at the end of the day, we know we can expect the negatives to come. If we just knock them off and keep on pushing, we're going to hit those goals a lot faster. So momentum is everything, man. You know when you have it, and you absolutely know when you don't.
That is a great statement, and that is so true. I love what you're saying about, continue to fight. I would say, you epitomize the fight. You're a guy who has no problem standing in the eye of the storm and saying that you're gonna give it your best and you're gonna go after it. So you've been a light to a lot of people because you've done that, and that's, again, it takes that a lot of months in a row to get momentum.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you've done that. When we talk about the live dial, its importance, its purpose, let's talk about it. I mean, the live dial has had a life cycle, right? It's had a birthing season, a growing season, a death season, a rebirth season. Talk a little about some of the seasons you've seen and how you've navigated, because you've been one of the core leaders on that platform. Talk about how you've seen the seasons and how you've navigated through to give for that thing to be as live and as on fire as it is today than ever before.
I think it's the consistency, even when when you feel that it's not performing at the way it should have been, when we lost that momentum and things were stagnant. The willingness to get back on the thing every freaking day, no matter, and just grit your teeth and say, okay, it's not working, but we're going to figure this out. Like to keep on searching for different angles, and to recognize when you need to cut bait, when you need to change it up, when you need to add some spark, not be in your feelings about if people come and go, or at the end of the day, we're going to hold this thing down and we're going to push it to the next level. I think when and it's not about, grinding without a goal, right? When you're just sitting there and just fighting and you're getting punched in the face, you can't just continue to do the same thing. I think what we what we found with live dials, we're not afraid to change things up in sometimes a drastic way. Like say, hey, what we know is that this is not working. So are we going to continue to do what's not working, or are we going to switch it up, get some more fire, get some more kindling into the fire, get some more people excited about this? But at the end of the day, the leaders on that live dial that I'm, it's a pleasure to work with, is that at the end of the day, we're going to keep on pushing. Yes, we fight, we we argue just like a family, but at the end of the day, we all have a common goal. We know that this platform works, and if we can just get more folks onto it,
right,
more people onto it to catch fire with us, we know, man, it's just a matter of time before. But again, if we can be honest with ourselves and say, hey, look, this isn't working. Let's figure out how to make this thing a better platform for the folks. Sometimes it comes from different leaders. It comes from you, comes from Kim, comes from all the other folks that pour themselves into this. And I think at the end of the day, we all have its best interest at heart. So although we're separate groups coming together, a lot of, our main goal is to make this thing work because it's better for all of us.
No doubt. New agents are the blood of the business. Mm-hmm. New growth leads to the blood of the business. When you think about new agents, and them coming into the platform, what are some things you've done from an onboarding standpoint to try to help new agents get on the platform and stay on the platform and produce on the platform?
Yeah. So one thing we've had, especially within my agency, is get them on the platform like day one. Like get them acclimated to it, like set the expectations where this is not say, hey, we're not just coming here to hang out. This is how people feed their families. This is how people are building their legacies for their great grandchildren, right? So this is a serious platform, but we have fun. We come to work and we have fun, but there's not going to be any half stepping, right? We're going to make sure that when you get on this platform from day one, we have a checklist, especially in our agency. And, and for me, it's not, it's funny, Mark, it's nothing that has been developed. It's all plagiarized, grabbing stuff from Needham and Hayden, grabbing stuff from FFL Knockout. We've kind of brought the best of all these live dial platforms and brought it in here to where we know when someone comes on, they have to listen to 10 presentations, right, before we get them calling. Before, when it was stagnant, it took maybe 2 days, 3 days for someone to get that. Now they can come in and get that within the first half day. They can hear multiple people pitching, selling, but the focus always when someone comes in is that get your 10, then get on the phones dialing. Like, let's go ahead and start the process. You learn more from doing it than from watching it. So we coach them, and sometimes, let's keep it real. Sometimes people are just they're not built that way at first. So if one of the leaders has to take them into a separate room and coach them through that process, we're willing to, no matter if it's from a different team, obviously whoever's upline or whoever's business partner or mentor that is, we try to get them in. But if they're out in the ocean flailing, we're going to throw a life jacket to them. We're going to make sure we get them in a room and make sure we set the expectations again. And but it's really at that point, they really have to show us what makes, what's going to make them be successful, right? So that's number one, continuating, and it's the continuous assistance that we have. Like, for instance, the telesales workshops we have on Wednesdays, the warm market blitzes that we have. It's a consistent pour into the agents that are currently on this platform that I think gets them engaged and keeps them engaged.
I love it. Absolutely love it. And I agree. I mean, it's the constant, if they're not on, they're lost. Would that be a fair statement?
Yeah. Yes. I mean, listen, you can't just hand someone scripts and leads and say, hey, go to work. I'll see you, next week at the meeting, right? It's not that kind of party, especially with telesales.
Right.
Now, if you're in the field, that's kind of what you got to do, right? You got, no one's going to be holding your hand. But telesales is a different animal. People, it is probably a much harsher form of this business if you're soft, right? Right. If you can't take criticism or someone hanging up on you, or so we try to make sure that we provide a platform like say, hey, they see the leaders go through the same issues, getting the no's, getting the hangups, getting the cuss outs when you gotta, when you're calling folks. And sometimes if they're not in the fire and they don't see that, they assume that it's just super easy for all of us, right? They see all these numbers, but if they're not, and that's really the bellwether, Mark. Like if they're not on live dials, I like after the first day, if we don't see them, like, hey, look, we give them a call. So, hey, look, is this something that you really, really want to do? Because we're showing up for work every day. Not getting on live dials is like not showing up for work, right? If you're a telesales agent, so we're quick. I mean, like within 24 hours, if we don't see them, say, hey, we're putting a lot of effort into you. You need to show up for work. Right. This is not an employee-employee relationship. We are business partners. I'm going to help you if you want, to be successful with this.
That's huge.
Yeah.
The relationship, setting the expectation on their relationship. This is not, we're not begging you to do this. We want to help you, and it's so important because they only make money when they help families. So there's no, setting the expectation is so critical so that they understand how this relationship's going to work, because I'm 100% here if you are.
Yeah.
But if you're not, then you can't expect me to be 100%.
Right.
And, trying to perpetuate growth and perpetuate, staying power and for that matter, momentum, Omar, that's something that you've curated and made happen. So when you think about bringing this thing full circle to having your best month ever and pushing forward to having your best month ever again, back to back, what does that look like heading into the future for Family First Life Midwest?
So you're saying as far as volume goes?
That's right. As far as you helping families and some of your leaders developing to understand the call and come along for this ride.
Yeah, it's so funny and I learned this from Mark a lot, Mark Tirolia, man, because he has such a good way of talking to folks and getting their buy-in on certain things. And when especially working with my boy, with my brother GB, 25 years of friendship, me and him have came together, and it's just trying to get everybody on the same page. I think the focus is always I always know how to produce myself. I always know how to necessarily build a team myself, but how can I get leaders engaged into doing the same thing on a weekly basis? Right. On a weekly basis, building momentum, getting people on this platform, using this platform not just for making phone calls, but for recruiting, for the different training. So with Midwest, man, I see our focus is doubling over the next 90 days. Right, doubling in size. I think we have enough momentum to go ahead and pour into the folks we have while we're doing warm market recruiting, while we're doing cold market recruiting, while we're bringing new people in. It's just, it's like that snowball at the top of the hill. We're going to keep on grinding, not losing momentum, but bringing more people and putting them in the fire. So the focus is to double in 90 days, Mark, and I think we're committed. I have some solid key people that are committed with me. So Mark, you can write that down.
Let's go.
Focus is doubling in 90 days, man.
So doubling in 90 days is helping 800 families by the end of June, yes?
That's the focus. Yes, sir.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
I like the sound of that.
If we all can get in the same direction, moving as one.
There you go. There you go.
It doesn't have to be all me. It's a group effort.
Okay, no doubt. So, what are some things you're doing to instill that group effort? Because this right here is the key.
What we're doing is a focus on the system of, so the key is once you have a great process, now it's just duplicating that process. Right. So we know how to get someone engaged, at my office level. I know how to get someone onboarded, engaged, ready to rock. From it's a streamlined process. Now it's making sure we're all doing that same process.
Is everyone recruiting though, Omar? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because onboarding starts with recruiting. I have nothing to onboard if new people ain't coming on the ship. And what we're having record months and record weeks.
Yeah.
So this is more of a gut check, leader to leader. Like, is everyone recruiting, Omar? Because the key, obviously you have a process that's working. So what are the methods of recruiting that you're now instilling for your group, for them to do what you're doing? Or is that already happening?
So it's a work in progress.
Yes, sir.
But it starts with the realization that the warm market is the best market to focus on. If you look at that, the return on your time, the people that you bring in, right? Because you know how the coal market is. You can put all your eggs in, and you're working so hard, and 6 months later they're not here.
Right.
But when you have that trust built with that warm market, and so it's at first getting out of your own way and starting with with my own warm market, going through my phone, like taking myself to the basics. And then if I can do that, and I can show every agent that we recruit, okay, let's go through your phone. Let's figure out who you think with this opportunity, especially because, Mark, I mean, you see the economy. People need a job. People. So we're at a time, I think, in with the economy, with the ability for us, that we can bring someone here and actually earn income. Now we just have to build that trust factor, and there's no more trust in a warm market hire.
Yes,
right,
sir.
right. They already know the person, they trust them. We use that agent to edify and getting the leaders like Rico, like GB, like Christine, like Q, get them on that same page. Like, hey, this is how we're going to double in 90 days. This is how we're going to do it. Right? Yes, we have other avenues of recruiting, but if we can focus on this and get people into class, get people writing from day one, using the system, 10, listen to 10 presentations, get you on the phone. Let's get you to your first policy within 48 hours.
Love it.
Of you getting your appointments. That's how I feel we're going to double, because once, instead of just me doing it, now it's going to be 6, 7 managers doing the same.
That's a different beast.
Yes.
That's a different beast. And again, the warm market blitz is very duplicatable. Very. It's there. We've now made it so accessible, So I think, Omar, it's just an insane amount of promotion. Yeah. But I believe you can double in 90 days. The key to that double is what we're talking about right now, is how many leaders are going to buy into building lists and calling people and getting them in class. Because the rest is history, brother.
Yeah.
We already know. The live dial's solid. The onboarding's solid. We have leads. Now it's like, do we have people who have some level of trust in us who aren't going to walk the moment they stub their toe, right? That's it. So, man, I appreciate you more than you know. You hold it down in the fire like very few can. That means a lot to me, just as a human in business, but as a brother. So, thank you for all you do, and we're definitely trending with my man Omar Mitchell.
Trending the right day, and I appreciate your direction, your leadership, man, your mentorship, bro. It's a pleasure doing business with you, man, and I can only see us building this thing so ridiculously huge, man, over the next 6, 12, whatever you call it, man. It's definitely gonna be record breaking.
Well, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much for sharing with us, Omar.
All right, man.
God bless. Thank you for listening. Take care.